up close and personal for tonight's Vlogoween. And I say tonight because it's Friday night, it's 8:32 p.m., and your girl is officially on vacation. I wanted to do today's video in response to Jason's video that he did on my channel 2 days ago. For those of you that have been keeping up with the vlogs, if you haven't, hit the notification ding-a-ling so you're notified of all the videos as soon as they're uploaded. And if you're not subscribed already, please check that out. Make sure you're subscribed and stick around because I got all kinds of good stuff for you guys. But for tonight's video, Jason had done a video a couple days ago on my channel when I wasn't able to film, and he talked about a really good topic called balance. And I think it's really great that he brought this up and talked about it. And interestingly enough, the day he brought it up, I had a few conversations with people, clients of my own and people in my life, just talking about balance and what that means and how that feels to the individual. And so Jason did his video and he said, you know, I think it'd be cool if you did a response to it, and your response might be totally different than what I think. And I think he thought I would have totally opposing views to what he said in his video, but I actually have a lot of the same beliefs that Jason does. So when thinking about balance, and especially because you guys know I'm into fitness and health, so we often think with balance, you know, kind of having that whole portion figured out in addition to everything else in our life. And I think we kind of misconstrue the word balance and think that that means that if someone has balance in their life, that everything's perfect, everything gets the amount of attention it desires, that that person is on top of their A game in every different facet of their life. And I absolutely do not believe that that can be possible. It really just can't. I do think and believe in striving for some type of balance in your life. And the definition of balance may be a little bit different for each and every person. And just out of my own personal interest, I kind of Googled it to see what came up for results. And one of the things that first popped up said, when you're living with balance in your life, you are living with peace and harmony every day. Balance comes in physical forms, comes in emotional forms, and a spiritual form. Being in balance may mean something different to each individual. Balance also means making time for friends and family. So balance kind of takes on a few different forms in our life, right? So it's not just like you got your eating habits in check. It's not just you're a student and you've got all your homework done. It's not just you're making time for your family and friends. There's so many different things that go into this world of balance. And, you know, I see the hashtag on Instagram sometimes, fighting for balance. So I think different people focus on different areas of their life to try to get them in balance. But can you really have everything balanced at a time? Probably not. I really don't think you can. I think for me, lately, I have felt really like unorganized and out of balance, like out of sync. I don't feel like I have that harmony, that kind of perfect combination where I'm feeling at peace every day. So it gives me something to strive for on how to better manage and prioritize things in my life so that I feel more at peace. Does that mean everything will ever be perfectly balanced? Does it mean I'll be giving the right attention to my job and to my family and to my friends and to my clients and to my YouTube and to my continuing education and to my dog and to my home and any other little thing that I want to do in my life, things I want to organize, my body, my mental, my spiritual, you know, am I getting in enough yoga and meditation? Am I taking the time I need for me? The list goes on and on and on. And I'm not even someone who has kids, so that list gets that much bigger when you have kids. And so can all of it ever be in perfect balance? I don't think so. I don't think there is such thing is perfect balance. But what I think there can be is understanding for you what balance means. So I like the idea of thinking about it as living your life with peace and harmony. So thinking about, what provides you with peace and what makes you, talk to myself, what makes Kara feel whole? What makes Kara feel like the best Kara possible? What does that balance look like of all those things in my life? And it's going to be different at different times in your life. So if you're someone in college, clearly your focus, you're going to have to prioritize a lot of your time and focus and energy on college. And maybe your fitness goals do have to take a back burner. Maybe some of your friendships and relationships do have to take a back burner because you're paying all this money to go through college, to work on your education, to increase your knowledge, to prepare yourself for the future and your possible career paths. Like, that's a big deal, right? That's life-changing. So that's where your focus is going to be. And maybe someone who's newly a mother, a lot of their attention, that energy is obviously going to be on their newborn, on their child, and how to keep their kids safe and learn to be a new mom and learn how to be a great mom and to still be a good wife if they're married. So, the point I'm trying to get at is balance isn't the same for everyone. And there is no perfect balance. No one has that. There's no such thing. No one has a perfect life. I know Jason mentioned, unless you're rich, those kind of things, maybe you can perfectly balance it. But I think that's where we see, with people that are rich and have it all, they often are lonely and they feel like they're missing something, So no one's perfect. No one has a perfect balance. And so really it's about prioritizing and what's important to you. And I think just being okay with where your priorities are at is the biggest thing you can do and the biggest thing I can give you advice on. And usually when I give you guys advice, it's because I'm giving myself advice. So oftentimes I might get stressed out because I'm annoyed and I feel not content because I'm not giving enough attention to one area of my life, and it bothers me because I just want to be good at it all. I want to give it all attention. I want to make sure, I wish I could give my equal attention to everything and be as good as I can in each area of my life. And I just don't think it's realistic. And I don't think that's me giving up on myself or me being a shitty person. I just don't think it's possible. And I think we put unrealistic expectations on ourselves. And that is when we fail. That's when we get stressed out of our minds and we're confused and we're anxious and we don't know how to fix it because you just get overwhelmed with the thought of it all. So as soon as you can identify, this is where I'm at in my life, these are my priorities. And that's going to be the way it's going to be, and accepting it for what it is. Or maybe you don't like the priorities you have in your life, so that's when you have to reassess and maybe make some changes. Maybe you're at a job that you hate, so maybe your priority shifts a little bit and you start giving a little bit more attention to figuring out what may make you happy in your job. Or maybe it's your relationship. Maybe you prioritize that things in your relationship are not where they should be, so you start giving more time and attention towards that. Just being mindful of what your attention's going towards and understanding and being okay with the fact that you can't do it all 100%. And I say this to my clients a lot because in terms of life, it's really freaking busy, right? And you have these weeks where it just feels like so much goes on that your eating habits and maybe getting to the gym and getting your workouts in does fall to the bottom of your priority list. As a dietitian, as a lover of health and fitness and a big promoter of it, I expect that to happen. That's life, folks. That's real life. That's gonna happen. Don't, beat yourself up about it. You're gonna have those weeks. Maybe you're gonna have those months. Maybe you're gonna have a year. It really depends on what's going on in your life. So just kind of be mindful of all these things that we have going on. It's 2017. We're expected to be multitasking, doing 4 different things at once, plus some, depending on what you're doing in your life. So it is hard. It's tough. I always talk about this with Jason, that it's not the same as when our parents were growing up. And maybe, you know, my parents would disagree, but I feel like, crap, they had it easy. And, you know, younger generation maybe feels the same way about my generation. But, you know, more is expected of us, and life just keeps getting busier and busier. So instead of feeling bad about where you're at with your priorities, just sit down and know what your priorities are and what you need to pay more attention to, and understand that you can't give all your attention to all of it at once. It's just like when I prep. If I'm prepping, and that's a big reason why I don't do show after show after show, because that would be my main priority. That would be a huge focus of mine that would take away from so many other areas of my life. And while it's okay during certain times, I usually try to make sure when I do prep for a show, I don't have a lot of other important life events going on, if I can predict that. Because I know my attention won't be there, my energy won't be there, my experience won't be the same, because my attention is gonna be on prepping and my show. So just some food for thought for you guys. I don't think my views are a ton different from Jason, but I do feel passionate that you don't have to just say, yeah, fuck it, there's no balance in this world. I think you can take responsibility to look at your life, look at the things you need to improve on. Maybe you are someone that has too many priorities going on. There's some of you out there too, right? Maybe you have too many things going on, and it's time to start saying no to some stuff. It's time to stop overbooking yourself, saying yes to things to make other people happy, or because you're worried they might be upset that you say no. Stop people pleasing and start pleasing yourself. And, you know, create your own balance that way, because you do need to create some time for yourself. You need to build in some you time and what makes you happy, and that's gonna look different for everyone. For myself, if I can have a little downtime watching Netflix or sitting on the couch, that makes me happy, that keeps me sane, that relaxes me. And for someone like Jason, he doesn't like that kind of downtime so much. He would rather be doing something a bit more active or mentally stimulating than watching TV. So for each and every person, it's gonna be different. But just know your limits, and know if your priorities, if you have too much going on, and that's where the balance is impossible, because you can't do it all, and you feel it in your heart and your soul. So you got to start saying no to stuff too. So it's the other side of balance. It's a continuum. There's gonna be different periods of your life where you feel like you're in sync, and other periods of your life where you're not. And it's gonna be like that for the rest of your life. It's not something where you turn 25 and your life should be figured out. I see a lot of people on social media, younger 20-year-olds on social media, thinking that at 23, 25, they're supposed to have their life figured out. Reality check, when you're in your 30s, it doesn't just all come together. It's an ongoing process of self-development, and it's just a journey of learning how to live this life and be happy in it and have a little peace and harmony. So those are just my takes on balance, and I would love to hear your thoughts below. And if any of you guys are YouTubers, I'd love to see a response video. Maybe shoot a video, let me know your take on balance and if you agree with myself and Jason. Otherwise, I look forward to your thoughts on this in the comment section below. And tomorrow we pack up. Sunday we head to Florida, and we're gonna have more vlogs coming for you. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series. We'll see you in the next one.